I'm not even a fan of Marcus Rashford. I want him gone. I wanted him gone years ago. But this stuff, this is weird, bro. The anger on some of these people's faces when they talk about Marcus Rashford, you know it's coming from a certain place. It's the same anger that Sancho gets, that Pogba gets, Martial gets, Raheem Sterling gets. They have to talk about his hair and his jewels and all of these things. The hatred is not surface level, it's deep. It seems like they want him to hurt. Big up yourselves. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Chosen Wisdom Football, where critical thinking is a must. Like Marcus Rashford. Don't know. Big up yourselves, people. This is a football channel for the football purists. We are going to talk about Marcus Rashford. Yes, over the weekend, he has more or less sealed his move to Barcelona. We haven't spoken about what his legacy is, because this is it, guys. Even if he does return after his loan, he has no future at the club. I think that is more or less clear. So I think we can talk about his legacy, talk about what Marcus Rashford has done. It's not a black and white situation. It's a nuanced conversation. There's a lot of hate towards Marcus Rashford online, and some of it is veering into racism. Let's be honest, guys, on this channel, I'm not going to be scared to talk about it. I'm not going to be scared to say what's really going on. So we're going to have a conversation about Marcus Rashford, his career at United, what it really has meant, what he's done, what he's achieved objectively. Before I give my opinion on anything, people, like I said, smash a like. I'm going to start with just the basic news, what all of us already know, and Fabrizio Romano has tweeted it. You can see on your screen right now. Marcus Rashford, Barcelona have sealed all the documents of Rashford deal set to land in Spain. Understand that Barca will pay 14 million gross as salary coverage plus bonuses linked to appearances. Marcus takes 15% pay cut. I think that's interesting because loads of people were talking about, why is these players not taking pay cuts? Why is Rashford, why is Sancho not taking pay cuts? There you go. Rashford has taken a pay cut. Sancho probably will take a pay cut. A lot of these players will be taking pay cuts. They're going to have to, and they will. As someone who's, who doesn't really care if they take a pay cut or not, if that was me, I wouldn't be. So these players are already better than me. But anyway, Marcus takes 15% pay cut, and Man United will not cover his salaries, which means we are saving. We pay him a bit more than 40 million euros gross. So he's taking a pay cut, like, as you said there. So we're saving his salary. That salary, you'd think, can now be used, because we're saving that 14 million euros around that much this year. So we now are going to have that in a bank somewhere that can be used to buy another player. Also, there is a 30 million euros buy option. So if he performs well and Barcelona do like what they see, then they would exercise their option and give us 30 million euros. He is an homegrown talent. If you take PSR into account, he will basically be able to double the amount that we can spend. So that is the basis of the news. Now, I'm going to start my little Rashford rant here. My little caveat. My Rashford rant that I'm about to have by saying that I am not a Rashford fan. I never thought Rashford was as good as the fan base were making out for him to be. I saw Rashford as a talented youngster who's very, very quick. Most of his talent was to do with his athleticism. His speed was absolutely frightening when he first came. Nobody was as quick as him. He could finish decently, and he had decent skill. Not amazing. The skill part of his game he's worked on. He didn't start off doing Rabonas, doing step overs and doing all these things. He didn't start off by doing that. He started by running with the ball and being direct and just running down the channels. Then years and years, he started working on his skill game, working on his ability to take on a man. And that's when we started getting step overs in his early 20s, 19, 21, 22, 23, started doing the little skills. He has also changed his game and he's developed his game, right? But for me, Marcus Rashford, I never saw a world-class footballer. I saw a very, very good footballer who, in a typical Man United team that was winning titles, he would be a squad player. He's not as good as someone like Nani. He's not a first team starter. For me, Rashford should have always been a very good squad player. He's slightly better than someone like Ashley Young, slightly better than someone like Aaron Lennon, and Aaron Lennon was quite good. He's better than those sort of players, but slightly. He's never been, for me, a world beater. He's never had the consistency in his performance to be a world beater. He should have been, for me, in a really good Man United side, a Man United side with world-class talent, a Fergie class of 92 side or something like that. He's a squad player. He's somebody who comes in, plays some games, plays cup games, come on, might start a few games, might play 40 minutes, but not somebody you ever build your team around. I think what's happened is that we've been so thirsty for star talent, and Manchester United fans are some of the worst fans in the world. We believe that we believe in every team there should be someone we worship. There should be a god. There should be a franchise player. And Manchester United pushed this guy into a position to be the franchise player. The fans did it and the media did it. We hyped him up, in my opinion, and we put him in positions. We put him in conversations with Mbappe, with some of the best footballers in the world, where, in my opinion, he's just under that tier. He's just under that tier. But that's not his fault. That's our fault. That's Man United fans who want a hero. We decided to make this Manchester lad, born and bred in Manchester, the guy, and give him 300 grand a week. We did this. The Man United hierarchy did this. The media behind this guy, when he was feeding kids and doing all of these things, was absolutely fantastic. Writing books, all of these things. So as a human being, from what I can see, as a human being, I've got no issues with Marcus Rashford, right? None. As a human being, I've got none. So why am I seeing now everyone started attacking this guy? Because I've kept the same energy for Marcus Rashford for the last 3 years. I've said he's inconsistent, and for Man United side who want to win the league, we need to get rid of this guy. We need better. But I've kept my criticism of Marcus Rashford just to football. I can analyse and I can tell you in detail why I believe Marcus Rashford probably should be sold. Whether it is his lack of effort, you know, he's fallen out of love with the club. Lack of effort. Whether we've given him money too quickly and he feels like he's the guy now. Whether it's because he can't play up front. He's not actually a striker. He can't play with his back to goal. His best season playing that role or anywhere near that role is a season where he had, what's that guy? We signed him in the second half of the season on loan. The tall guy who played as a false nine. I can't remember his name. But we signed him on loan for one half the season. And I think that season, but 2 seasons ago, Ten Hag season, he scored about 15 goals or something, 18 goals. That was one of his best seasons. Marcus Rashford, yeah, has always looked good next to Martial. Next to somebody who can facilitate for him, right? That's when he looks good. So I don't understand why now that he's going to Barcelona, let's understand what's happened. Let's just quickly, for the next 2 minutes, just look at Rashford's career. Broke in at 18 because we had nobody. He wasn't spoken about in the youth team like Greenwood was. So he wasn't somebody that anybody really had eyes on. So he kind of broke into the team, and he was very lucky to. Nobody thought he would break into the team. He wasn't somebody that, like even Kobe Mainoo, people were talking about Mainoo before he broke into the team. People were talking about Mason Greenwood when he was 15, 16. Nobody was talking about Rashford. So let's understand, yeah, that this guy is supposed to be a squad player. He broke in when Martial was injured and loads of players were injured. Since then, he hasn't looked back. He's had some good seasons. Seasons where he scored goals, got assists. Seasons where he's been a bit more quiet. But let me ask you something. Let me ask the chat something. Who out of the last 10 years, 12 years in this inconsistent Manchester United side has been consistent? Nobody. Nobody, yeah, has played well every game. Nobody plays well in every game. Not Mo Salah, not Ronaldinho, not R9, not the best footballer, not Messi. Messi has some bad games. Ronaldo has some bad games. So the idea that a player needs to have good games every game is a myth. You're supposed to be allowed to have bad games and other players in your team pick up where you fall. If you have a bad game, someone else has a good game and you still win. But because he was never supposed to be the guy, he's always been inconsistent, which means he should always be a squad player. And we have made him the guy. We then fail as a team because he's the guy and he's inconsistent. He doesn't play well every game because that's Rashford. But he should have never been the guy. So whose fault is it that Marcus Rashford was made the guy at Old Trafford? Whose fault is it? Can we blame Marcus Rashford? Now these people are coming out saying, I see people online talking about his head shape. Fair enough, that's a bit funny. But let's not take it too far. You see people online talking about the private jet that he's taken. People online talking about his earrings. People online talking about how he doesn't deserve the move. When people start talking about things other than football about you, and they can't stick to football, that something else is happening. There's some sort of unconscious bias that's seeping through. And that's always been there with certain players. Certain players are not allowed to have bad games. If they have bad games, it means they're lazy. And like I said, I'm not fond of Marcus Rashford. I agree. I think Marcus Rashford should have been sold 3 years ago. I said that Manchester United won't win the league if Marcus Rashford is a starter and he's the centre of our team. We won't. So I'm advocate of Marcus Rashford. What I'm trying to say here is this. We can acknowledge that he's been inconsistent while at the same time acknowledge that he's had good performances for the club. He's helped us win Europa Leagues. He's helped us win FA Cups. And in the most toxic period of Manchester United's history, this period, he has been there trying to help us. Last few seasons, he hasn't been that great. He hasn't. But tell me who has. Tell me one. And don't say Bruno. Because while Bruno is putting up numbers, because Bruno is on every penalty, he's on every free kick, he's on every corner, so he's going to get numbers by default. Bruno doesn't put in performances. When's the last time, you saw a Bruno Fernandes performance, a 90-minute, not just a stat, not just a goal or assist, a 90-minute performance where you're like, wow, his performance against this team was absolutely amazing. Nobody has been consistent playing for Manchester United over the last 12 years in a toxic, inconsistent team. Where are you going to find consistency? So I'm just trying to make sure there is a balanced understanding about Marcus Rashford. I want to make sure that while he didn't hit the heights that a lot of people wanted him to hit, me personally, he overachieved. To many people, he underachieved. And to many people, he underachieved and he didn't hit the heights because your expectation of him was much higher than the reality of him. I and a lot of individuals saw his limitations from very early. And like I said, he's kind of like, you can say I'm being funny when I'm calling him Ashley Young level. Ashley Young was a baller, bro. Ashley Young balled out for Aston Villa. And when he came to Man United, he was balling out for at least 2-3 seasons on that left wing before we moved him to sort of left back. It's not a diss calling him an Ashley Young level player. He's probably a bit better than Ashley Young, but it's not a full-on diss if you actually think about Ashley Young's career and what trophies he won. Ashley Young won Premier League titles. So let's not do that. So it's trying to be balanced with your assessment. I don't want people to be like, he's a failure. How can you be a failure when you've been there for 10 years? You're a working class lad from a working class background. You've never had anything. And now you're playing for Manchester United, being the franchise player, getting 300 grand a week. You gonna tell Marcus Rashford he's a failure? When he's going home to his £5 million pound house, you go tell him and now he's playing for Barcelona. You go tell him he's a failure. we need to be nuanced. We need to be like, yes, he was inconsistent, like a lot of players were. Yes, to a lot of people, he didn't hit the heights. Also, he was the one who wanted to leave. He came out after Amarim made a little challenge to him. He came out and he did that interview and he said he wanted a new challenge. So also Marcus Rashford has to hold a bit of heat from the fans because he's the one who said he wanted to leave. But let's be nuanced when it comes to assessing his legacy at the club. Let's not say he's a failure. He's crap. Because if he's a failure, if he's crap, if he's this and he's that, then everyone who's part of the same team as him, who played under the same managers, who achieved the same as him, you have to include them too. You have to. So, and these people now who are asking, does he deserve the move? Listen, it's either you want him to leave or you don't. What do you mean he doesn't deserve the move? So where does he deserve to go? Where does he listen, think about this for a second. If Man United finished 15th in the league, there's only 5 teams below us, right? So he doesn't deserve to play for a team higher than Manchester United. So he deserves to play for a relegation team. Some of these people are so angry at Rashford. They're so angry at this guy. I don't know why. That it seems like they want him to hurt. They want him to hurt. You don't deserve this move to Barcelona. What do you mean he doesn't deserve the move to Barcelona? Based on what? What does that mean? Barcelona want the player. We want to sell the player. We come together. We made this deal. Oh, he doesn't deserve the move. So what does he deserve? What does he deserve? A beating, a slap. Like the anger on some of these people's faces when they talk about Marcus Rashford, you know it's coming from a certain place. It's the same anger that Sancho gets, that Pogba gets, Martial gets, Raheem Sterling gets. It's that they can't talk about football. They have to talk about his hair and his jewels and all of these things because the hatred is not surface level. It's deep. It's deep. And these people are aware this. You want him gone, he's now gone, and now you're angry that he's going to Barcelona. Listen to me, people, and listen to me very, very carefully. Yeah? Everybody who's leaving Manchester United this summer is going to better clubs. Everyone. Whether you're going to Barcelona or going to Juventus or Napoli, they're all in better positions than Manchester United. Everyone who's leaving Manchester United is upgrading. Everyone. So he doesn't deserve the Barcelona move. So where do you want to go? Championship. To the champion. Like, what does that mean? I don't know, guys. I thought I needed to have my say. Because I'm thinking to myself, hold on a second. I'm not even a fan of Marcus Rashford. I'm not even a fan of Marcus Rashford. I want him gone. I wanted him gone years ago. But this stuff, this is weird, bro. This is weird. And to see how many people hate this guy or hating on this guy, and he's supposed to be a Manchester born and bred lad. He's still an England player. It's very, very strange. So I ranted a little bit, guys, but I just had to let it out. Because I want people just to be objective. Say he's not good enough. Say this. And the thing is, you can't even say he's not good enough. Marcus Rashford walked into our team. Marcus Rashford. And the thing is, he's not even leaving because he's not good enough. Because he's better than Højlund as a striker. He's better than Garnacho on the left. So he's not leaving because he's not good enough. He's leaving because the club do not want him. Whether it's his wages or whether it's the fact that he first and foremost came out and said he wanted to leave. So the club were like, cool. Whatever it is, the club do not want him. It's not just his talent. Otherwise, he'll be starting up front for us. Aston Villa bought Marcus Rashford to replace Ollie Watkins, and Ollie Watkins is a striker that's on the top of our list. Think about that for a second. Aston Villa bought Rashford to replace Ollie Watkins, only for us to now have put Ollie Watkins on top of our list. Rashford isn't leaving Man United because he's not good enough to play for Manchester United. That's not the reason. So I just feel like we can be, especially when it comes to people who played for Man United for 10 years, who've been there since 18, 17. I lie. He's been there since he was about 13. He's been there since he was a kid. We can be like, thank you, Rashford. You've had some good times, but you've also had some bad times. You've been inconsistent, but some of your good memories, some of your goals have been amazing. You won us Europa Leagues. Thank you, Rashford. And good luck. Why can't we just do that? And then keep it moving. And then continue with our lives. Why does the anger of finishing 15th and everything, why do we need scapegoats? Why do we need to do this to our players? It's weird, man. It's weird. Just wish him the best of luck. Like British Bulldog said in the chat, keep it moving and continue to get our new signings. Let's not, now he's walking away, start throwing stones at him. You know them ones where you want the player to leave, now that he's leaving and he's actually upgrading, he's not leaving and going to Sunderland, he's leaving and going to Barcelona, and you kind of know that he's going to win that title with Barcelona, or he's going to win something with Barcelona. Because of that, because he's exceeding and he's excelling and he's going on to further do great things, you want to be throwing stones at him. Oh, look at him. Because they can't get him down. And I never wanted Rashford to, I don't hate on a man yet to the point where I want him down. I just want him out of the club. That's it. Good luck. I want you to look at Scott McTominay. I never wanted Scott McTominay at United. I thought that defensive midfield position, that double pivot, was not him. He's better playing forward. I wanted him gone. Now he's gone. He's doing well at Napoli. Good luck, Scott. Keep winning titles. Why does there need to be, you've left Man United now. Now you need to die. Now I need to destroy you because you don't. What is that brain? What is that brain? I don't even understand that brain. It's a weird brain. Anyway, yeah, I thought I needed to just say this. I said, listen, let's just keep it moving. He's gone now. Cherish some of the good times he had. It wasn't always perfect. Nobody's always perfect. He did some good stuff. Wish him luck for the future. Hopefully he plays well so we can get the money and we can keep it moving. That's it. That's what I'm going to say.